Ellie, you hold up perfectly still.
Well, that looks very dangerous. Are you sure you know what you're doing, Edward?
Oh, it's all right, Mr. Hudson. It's only the aerial. No electricity involved at all. Now, hold it up high. That's it. Now, all we have to do is connect these terminals to the battery.
Now, stand well back, everybody.
It's all right, Mr. Hudson. He's not going to blow out.
Oh, you can't be too careful.
Right. That's it. Now, we're ready. Let me see. Oh. Yeah. Switch on. And that's it.
Just as I thought.
Oh, well, you see, it's not really the right sort of aerial, and we're in the basement.
What sort of aerial should it be?
Well, it should be a sort of pole thing on the roof connected by wire.
Oh, that's absurd, Edward. Imagine every house in London with a wee pole sticking up from the roof.
It says here you have to tune it.
Oh, that's right. Look in the paper, love, and see what it says under broadcasting.
Well, I can't read it. It's too small. No? Oops. Oh, here we are. London, 369 metres.
That's right, good girl. That's 2LO, Savoy Hill.
Here it is. Wait a minute. Oh. That's it. There you are, Mrs. Bridges. Listen to that. Mr. Hudson. There you are.
Oh, it's beautiful music.
Sounds more like a parrot squawking to my way of thinking.
Daisy.
Gracious me. Whatever will they think of next?
Daisy, may I have a listen, please?
Daisy, let Lily listen. It's half-sudden.
Oh, the aerial.
I'll take
Keep
it.
it mind the wires.
Mind the
No,
wires, please.
Oh, Daisy, hold it
That's
still.
right.
Up a minute. That's it.
Where's that voice coming from? Is it in them bulbs?
No, they're valves, Mrs. Bridges, and it's in the ether, in waves.
Oh, yes, I expect it is.
Wireless waves, Mrs. Bridges.
Do you expect me to believe that voice is coming here from Savoy Hill, all through the houses and the traffic and that?
Yes, truly.
Oh, with the window shut? How can waves of air come through solid glass? Answer me that one.
Well, perhaps they get into the crack under the back door. No, don't talk about things you don't understand.
Shh, quiet, everybody. News of sport.
The Football Association Cup final will be held this year in the new Wembley Stadium. It will be between Bolton Wanderers and West Ham United.
Switch off the apparatus.
Oh, but...
Please, Edward.
Oh, no, Mr. Hudson.
Oh, yes, Daisy. West Ham should never have got to Wembley in the first place. Well, that would be the Major's taxi cab.
You're out again, night after night. Poor lonely soul. Where does he get to?
Oh, he goes to his club and plays bridge, no doubt, like many single gentlemen. And like his lordship, the Major is a member of White's, Pratt's, and, of course, the Guards Club.
The Hot Cat Club in Gerrard Street, more like. Evening closed and I stink of cheap scent. Here, listen to this.
Yes, sir.
So you new here?
Yes, sir.
We met somewhere before.
Yes, we have.
The machine gun conversion course in France. Major Morris. Vicky. There was plenty of guns there, isn't there? They helped us win the war.
Yes, indeed. Would you like something to drink, sir?
Oh, yes. I think we'll probably start with a couple of sidecars. Small world, isn't it?
Yes.
We must have a drink sometime, discuss old times.
That would be very pleasant. Would you like anything to eat, sir?
Oh, yes. Well, what can we have?
Sandwiches?
Not bully beef.
Smoked salmon, chicken.
Chicken will be splendid and plenty of. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Morris, I say, are you... Can I help?
No, thank you, sir. No, I'm very lucky to be here. It's a good, steady job.
Free all day?
Yes.
Splendid. I'm glad. Would you like to dance? Make yourself scarce, will you? There's...
James,
Hello, Diana. Splendid to see you. Won't you sit down a minute?
I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Oh, no, I'm here by myself.
Come over and join us. I think you know everyone. There's Christabel and Lump, and Vina and Mouse.
No, I don't think I will if you don't mind. Sit down and join me a moment.
What are you doing here, all on your own, dressed in those funny clothes?
Something to do. Father and Virginia and the children are still in Scotland, or doing in America. I like this planet. expected to see any friends.
We came starving because Davina had heard about the pianist too.
No. Sidecar. Very good.
But
I anticipated your arriving, as we used to say in school when doing Greek. I can't quite remember why.
I shouldn't.
Go on. Had a good season?
I suppose so. I'm rather bored of hunting in the country and everyone endlessly moaning about the miseries of farming.
I see Bunny's selling Newbury House.
Yes, I can. Buffalo Barrett, really. We're going to pull it down and build a big block of luxury flats on the site overlooking Hyde Park. I'm going to be looking after the moving of everything. But in fact, I'm staying in the Ritz, having a wonderful time buying new clothes.
Wow.
I'd better get back.
You're looking very young and very beautiful.
Thank you.
Please stop where they are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing to be alarmed about. Constable, say their names and addresses.
Yes, sir,
please.
right.
Are you the manager? Can I see this?
How did you know?
In the army, we were always taught to reconnoitre an escape route if there was a danger of a raid by the enemy. I go away soon.
Poor Davina and Matt, I bet they'd be mad. I mean, I'd have a fit if I'd been caught.
And where's Bunny?
We're in the wilds of Wales fishing. He never comes to London unless it's for a dinner or a meeting. You never come to see us these days.
No.
Not want to be asked.
No.
No Hazel to put you off anymore.
No, no poor Hazel.
She haunts you from the grave.
No. My memories of her are happy ones, much happier than when she was alive. Well, we made our peace, I think, before she died.
What are you doing this weekend?
I can't come up to Somerby. I'm going down to Sandwich for a couple of weeks' golf, get some fresh air. The Danbys have lent me their cottage.
All alone? Can I come too? That's if you'd like me to.
Oh, yeah. A bit risky.
My name's absolutely all right.
Yes, here's my man, I expect.
Good.
I see you look cold. Come on, get out this way.
Oops. Oh, Lord, my wrap.
I collected in the morning.
Sable. Molyneux.
Smelling faintly of kelper flower.
Just checking the lamp, sir, in case the electricity fails like last time.
Yeah, just like the war, eh?
Yes, sir. Oh, we've got plenty of candles in case, sir.
Good. Do you know, Edward, I mentioned the possibility of a visitor?
Yes, sir. I've made up the bed in the spare room.
Good. Well, there may also be a servant. A maid.
But there isn't any other room, sir. Well, I could try in the village if you like.
No.
Well, I can make up a bed on the settee in the lounge, sir.
Yes, well, that may not be necessary, Edward. We shall see. I'm sure a maid will be a great help, too. No, give you a hand.
Yes, sir.
I know I can rely absolutely on your discretion, Edward.
Yes, sir.
Good. Splendid. They shall be here any minute.
I think your visitors are arriving, sir.
Oh, well, splendid, Edward. Show them in, will you?
Oh, the maid is in here.
Hello, James.
Diana. Well, train on time?
I really didn't ask.
Some sherry?
Gin, please. Gin water.
Oh, yes, of course. There we are. I thought we'd ease out. There's some quite reasonable pubs.
I bought some food. It would be a bit more sensible to eat here, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, I suppose it would.
Rather stuffy and damp.
Oh, just had the valley.
And smoking. Wet wood. Open the window.
Oh, right.
That pipe doesn't help much.
Oh, I am sorry.
Aren't you going to say you're glad to see me?
Oh, yes. I mean, of course I am. I'm tremendously glad. It's just...
Just what?
Bunny.
Look, if you've suddenly developed a conscience, why the hell didn't you tell me not to come?
I haven't.
Right, so no more bunny. Let's get that quite clear.
Yes, Diana. My name's Barnes, like a bridge.
Oh, mine's Marshall.
Well, you could have knocked me down with a feather when I saw who it was.
Could I have?
Yeah, I know Lady Newbury. I've been up at Summerby with the Major for the hunting. Well, that would be before your time, of course, Miss Marshall.
Lucky we brought our own food, by the looks of the larder.
Well, the Major usually eats out.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of them.
Pâté en croûte, just like Christmas.
Oh, we have it all the time. Poky little place.
I don't know, it's quite cosy, really. Mind you, it's not what we're used to.
It's not what we're used to either, I can assure you, Mr. Barnes.
Yes. Well?
Still, under the circumstances,
You know, it's not like the Major at
men
all.
are all the same.
I always thought the Marquis was the Major's best friend.
But what's that got to do with it?
Well, you know.
I think you're a little bit old-fashioned, Mr. Barnes. Or is it that you've led rather a sheltered life?
No, I haven't. Well, I'm married to Daisy, our head housemaid, and I've been all through the war.
Oh, I'm glad.
What about the war?
Oh, no, about the other. I much prefer valets who knows what's what. Is there a cook?
No, there isn't. But there's a woman that comes in during the week.
No servant? No servants at all?
No. We'll manage.
Oh, will we indeed?
Well, I was a footman before. I mean, I'm pretty handy. I can manage most things.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Well, as it seems we're going to have to spend quite a lot of time together, you can call me Violet.
I'm Edward.
Edward. Goodness.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm just taking off my frock. It got ever so crumpled in the train. And I thought you'd be a good boy and give it a little iron for me.
Yeah, but supposing one of them comes in.
Well, what can they say under the circumstances, Edward?
Yes, sir? Oh, Edward, would you rustle us up a spot of cold lunch on a tray will do? Yes, sir.
And a bottle of the Burgundy.
Yes, my lady. Oh, please, sir, allow me. Oh, right, really. The wood's a bit wet. I'm afraid so, sir.
A nice, willing boy.
Yes, he's a splendid fellow, Edward, I must say.
My girl's a boshy little stuck-up bitch. The way she behaves, you think she was the Queen of Sheba, not a draper's daughter from Kettering.
Why do you keep her?
Oh. She's so brilliant with hair. She makes me laugh. You're Edward. Makes someone a very good butler.
Are you scheming?
Me? No.
Oh, yes, you are. Behind that pretty, innocent little face, there's a cunning, devious brain.
Oh, Edward, darling. I'll have a glass of cream demons, please.
Oh, yes, milady.
Ari, boy. Ari.
it, aren't you?
It's all right, Edward, darling. They're out playing golf. They won't be back for hours. Oh, do you dance?
Well, yeah, but I mean, not to this.
Hold on, hold on.
Hey, you can half dance. You ought to go on the stage.
Oh, that was Noël, cette darling.
Hey, where'd you learn?
I picked up that step at Dover, darling. It was last season. Everyone was there. There was Yadicom, Gabby Deli, and the Casa Moraes. And oh, there was the Prince of Wales. It was wrapped around Mrs. Dudley Ward, of course. Sit down, Edward. Listen, it was all terribly, terribly gay, but rather boring. Think I'll have a bath. Run up and turn it on for us as a pet.
Hey, who do you think I am?
Well, you're quite a nice boy, really. That's what I think you are. At home, I'll have a footman who's incidentally madly in love with me. And he'll obey me slightest whim. Here, I got you.
All right.
Oh, Edward. And can I have a hot water bottle, darling? Just for my little bed, because it's bound to be damp. Ooh.
Why did you come down here, Diana?
Not for a naughty weekend.
No.
Because I love you, you silly old thing. I've loved you ever since that awful dance at Crewe House. I mean, awful, because I was 13. Had spots. It was the scourge of many a governess. You were still at Eton. Tall and slim and beautiful. And I fell in love. Because our parents knew each other, who actually asked me to dance. Out of duty, because you were properly brought up.
Did I?
When I found myself in your arms the other night, I felt the same pang. And now that you haven't a wife anymore, I'm yours if you'll have me. It's taken me a long time to run you to ground.
Sure, Bunny's always been very kind to you.
Oh, yeah, it's always very thoughtful and considerate, even when I've been at my most bloody. Life at Summerby is so dull and decent and organised. There's no spice to it, no adventure, no risk. I'm just part of the furniture, beautifully polished. Bunny's so wet. Kitty Danby said the other day that you could shoot snipe off him.
That's the sort of bloody thing she would say. He was jolly good during the war.
I was in the ADC most of the time.
Only the last year. The heirs then a bill or two of being killed off. The king wanted to be sure of a House of Lords in the future.
Why are we talking about Bunny all the time?
You started it?
No, you did.
Well, he's rather germane to the issue, as they say. He's your husband and he's my oldest friend. Don't you think he'd be most awfully upset if he knew he'd left him for me?
He won't mind a jot once he's got over the first shock. In fact, I should say be secretly rather relieved. His family will be delighted that he'll be free to marry again and find a girl who can produce an heir.
I wish I could see into the future. Why did I ever choose Hazel when I could have chosen you? I'm with the outcasts, you know. Now, Bunny's got thousands of friends, and they're most of them bound to side with him.
Nice to know who one's friends really are.
Well, I think you might be in for a bit of a shock. Now, I know divorce is a very commonplace thing nowadays, but not for marquises. The king and queen won't like it a bit. I don't mind particularly because I'm not a very social sort of person anyway.
You trying to frighten me?
Yes.
Picked the wrong girl.
What do you want to do?
Go abroad. Both got a bit of money. Let's spend it. Have to live in Paris, of course, but think what fun it could be. Time to bend all Westminster's hands at Poe. Be only for the polo. Rent a villa with a wild, romantic old garden at Fiesole. There'll be parties all the time. Skiing parties in the Alps. Yachting parties in Greece. Mad gondolier parties in Venice. We'll go everywhere and do everything. There's nothing we couldn't do together.
Hi. She asked me, ever so casual, if I like travelling abroad.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean it.
It's a hint, if you ask me.
Well, I'm not going.
Of course you must. It's the most wonderful opportunity.
Well, I think it's a disaster. I mean, well, it could sack me if you like, but I'm not going. I've got the best little wife in the world back at Eaton Place.
Well, it wouldn't be forever. I mean, think of the money you'd make. You'd have me to keep you company. Think of me, and the moonlight, and the Taj Mahal. Oh, yes, they're bound to go to the Taj Mahal.
Even the thought of you, the Taj Mahal, and the moonlight still wouldn't part me from my daisy back home.
I don't want you to marry me out of decency. What are we to do?
I don't know. I haven't got that far yet.
James has made a complete clean breast of the whole thing. He had to talk to somebody.
Thank you.
It was his idea from the very start.
Well, it does take two, sir.
Oh, I know it does. No one's trying to say that Diana's entirely blameless. She does really seem to have lost her head, and now deeply regrets the whole thing. James, well, he's always had a great deal more charm than was good for him. And, well, we must face it, women like Diana, the high-spirited ones, they do need the devil of a lot of looking after. Not that it in any way excuses James's behavior, as he admits himself. But now that he's pulled himself together, he too deeply regrets the whole thing. And the mess he's put us all in.
Well, I've known James all my life, as you know, sir. Just can't believe he'd do such a sort of rotten, caddish sort of thing.
Well, since the war, you know, he's definitely been a bit, but this has given him a great shake-up. That's why he's asked me to meet you.
Well, it's shaken me up, too, sir.
Well, but if you'll let me talk to you like a Dutch uncle, a good shake-up doesn't do us any harm from time to time. A similar thing happened to me once. A long time ago now, before the war, when my first wife was alive. Shook me up like the very devil, I can tell you. I paid a great deal more attention to my wife afterwards. Went out and bought her an expensive new hat, I remember. This sort of thing doesn't do any real harm. You know what I mean. And from what James has told me, Diana's damn fond of you, really.
Well, I wonder if she'll come back to me, sir.
Well, if you want her, you must ask her. Buy her a new hat at the same time.
You mix the pipe clay and the water into a nice paste, rub it on the feather always one way, and when it's dry, you can shake off the powder and curl it up at the end with a knife.
There's a big car stopped outside.
Oh, well, it's none of our business. Mr. Hudson's in the house. I wish you'd pay attention.
There's a lady coming down the area steps.
Oh, best see who it is. Could I see Mr. Barnes, please?
Yes, miss. Please step inside, miss.
She wants to see Edward. Who's she, the cat's mother?
No, it's a lady.
Well, bring her in. Please come in. I'm sorry, miss. Mr. Barnes is not available, but I am Mrs. Barnes, if I can help you.
Oh, so you're Daisy. I'm Miss Marshall, Lady Newbury's maid.
Oh, pleased to meet you, I'm sure. Lily, would you tidy up, please?
Yes. I've a note from Lady Newbury for Major Bellamy. I wanted Edward to deliver it personally.
Oh, well, if you care to leave it with me, Miss Marshall, I will see that it is delivered personally.
Oh, Oh, that's frightfully good of you, Daisy. Now, I must rush because I've got to pick up Lady Newbury. She's at Reville's. We're going on a cruise, you see, so there's so much to organise. Would you give my kind regards to Edward and tell him that I think he's very, very lucky to have such a pretty little wife?
Well, I'm sure my husband will be desolated to have missed you, Miss Marshall. Would you show Miss Marshall out, please, Lily?
Who is that?
An old friend of yours, Eddie.
Oh?
Did you ever see the like of that?
Well, who was it?
Can't you tell by the sweet perfume that fills the air? The ugly old cow with the buck teeth. Oh, I thought she was beautiful. Well, she sent you her kind regards, but she couldn't stop as she was going on a cruise.
Yes. Well, I must get these upstairs then.
Well, you can take this up to the Major at the same time. It's to be delivered personally by you.
Oh, yes.
It was Violet's very special wish.
Was it?
Lord and Lady Newbury are taking her all round the world. Wish I was going on a cruise.
Expect Eddie does too, don't you, Eddie?
Oh, I'm glad it's all right now. They're going away, I mean.
Be like a second honeymoon, won't it?
Yes, Daisy.
And Eddie,
Yes, Daisy?
I want a word with you later on. Personal.
Yes, Daisy. Well, now that Baldwin's settled in, I shall go back to Scotland tonight.
Yes.
Why don't you come with me? Virginia and the children would be delighted.
No, I don't think I will, thank you. I'm sorry if I was rude the other night, Father. It's quite inexcusable. I wasn't quite myself.
That's all right.
And thank you for having a word with Bunny. Certainly seems to have done the trick.
Well, I've had a great deal of experience, you know. I seem to have been getting you out of scrapes since you first went to school.
Yes.
Came by hand, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.